I just wanted to do a little bit of a casual chit chat video. I want to throw these in every now and again if I have something that I really want to talk about that's kind of working through my head. And this one is about style, and I've just been dealing with something lately that's actually kind of put again like my identity into question. I love when things do that. Confession, the last 2 weeks I've literally been living in these are my Hokas, my Hoka Bondis. And when I mean living in them, guys, I genuinely mean from the minute I get out of bed, I have to put these on, and I can't really take them off again until the moment I go to sleep. And I've been doing that now for about 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks yesterday. But this isn't the first time that I've had a foot issue. I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, should I be putting my feet pics online and getting random men to pay for my podiatry appointments? Because there's people, like, there's a thing for everybody, okay? There's a kink for everybody, and I mean, there's got to be a kink out there for somebody who wants to see, like, high-arched, claw-like toes, slightly purple front paw circulation, and, like, wide-ass feet. I'm getting teary at the thought of it. I'm totally joking. I'm not going to be putting my feet online in that way at this current point in time, but who knows? We don't know what the future could hold, guys, okay? We don't know. It's this funny thing I've been dealing with lately in the background of my life, and it's obviously not the biggest of deals, but it's kind of challenging my identity a little bit and, like, how I feel about myself, which is kind of why I wanted to talk to you about it. But within the last few years, I've noticed reoccurring foot problems, and more foot issues have come up. And then, the start of this year, when I started to go see this new podiatrist, it came to my attention that I have incredibly wide feet. I say incredibly wide, but I don't think they're that wide. I think that there's more of us out there than maybe we realize or maybe is known. It's so funny though, when I was in Japan, oh my God, I was a creep, okay? Absolutely creepy. I would be on public transport. I would be everywhere. And the way that I would be staring at women's feet, it almost feels illegal, honestly. I had to stop, but I couldn't. But I was almost looking at them with, like, awe and envy because they're so little and petite and just, like, these cute little feet. And, like, there I am sitting next to them or staying next to them in public transport with my giant Hokas. I felt like a giant big-footed monster amongst, all of these small Japanese women with their tiny little feet and their cute little ballet flats. Okay, my feet could never. My feet cannot even fit into a ballet flat. My maker did not bless me with something somewhat desirable, like, I don't know, a D chest. To be honest, I don't really want a D chest though, but it's just funny. Like, it's just, I have to think it's funny, otherwise I'll cry. It's like, let's not give her a double D chest. Let's just give her D width feet and see what she does with that. I'm laughing. If I don't laugh, I will cry is probably a bit strong. I mean, I did get a little bit teary in my podiatrist's office today. But yeah, it's just one of those funny things, isn't it? And I know it may not, like, on the surface seem like a big deal, but it kind of is. It's a little bit of a big deal. I think maybe just in the interim until I become comfortable with this new reality of my big-footed life. Because for the longest time, I think I really kind of used and abused my feet. Like, I kid you not, I gaslit myself for I don't even know how long. I used to go for, like, hot girl walks with friends, and I mean, I still do, but not lately because of my feet. But I used to go for, like, hot girl walks with friends, or even if I was just wearing shoes, heels or whatever. I genuinely gaslit myself into believing that I thought that everybody's toes went numb when they went for long walks. Like, I just thought it was something that happened. I thought that everybody's toes went numb. If you think that too, come in close. I need to tell you, that's not normal. Sorry to break it to you. It's kind of challenged how I feel about myself pretty much this entire year. And I'm trying not to sound too dramatic. Like, this isn't a world's smallest violin, by the way. I'm just trying to talk to you about something that I think is quite like a womanly experience, maybe. It's like I went off birth control and I had, like, adult acne, which I'd never had before. I was, like, diagnosed for something else at the start of this year, which, like, I haven't really spoken about. But, like, all of these things that happened, like, can just kind of knock your self-confidence a tad. And then to find out that I've got these giant feet and I essentially have to live in Hokas. I think I've said this before in another video, but part of the reason I have so many Birkenstocks and Hermes Chypre sandals is because they're better for me and my giant feet. I used to be okay with fashion roasts. I used to be like, oh, it's fine, it's not a big deal. I think when you experience something, like when people are like, oh my God, like, why do you have so many Birkenstocks, or why do you wear those Chypres, they're so ugly. I feel like Regina George in that scene when she's like, sweatpants are all that fit me right now, okay? Birkenstocks and Chypres, D to E width Hokas are all that fit me right now and probably ever. It's been a bit to kind of wrap my head around. I basically have to wear these shoes majority of the time. And I was kind of talking to my podiatrist about it today because I was like, look, I need you to be so specific with me. I need specifics. Like, I'm very much like an all or nothing person. I need you to tell me, because he's basically said like I should be wearing my Hokas all the time. We were kind of talking more about it today, and he was like, okay, well, obviously once we get this kind of issue under control with your feet, you can walk a little bit better again. It's kind of like, you could kind of see it a bit like your diet. And obviously if you struggle with eating or anything like this, like trigger warning, but it's kind of like a thing of, you try to eat predominantly healthy foods that are good for you, whole foods, fruits, vegetables, that kind of stuff. And then like that's like majority of your diet. And then like there's this other little small part of your diet that's more kind of junk food or processed food or, sugary things and stuff like that. Now having to see my footwear as my diet is like something that it's going to take me a little bit of time to wrap my head around. And he said that like pretty much everybody should be treating their feet this way, but not everyone does, and not everyone has the same foot issues. Not everyone has like unusually shaped feet or like certain issues. Hokas don't look good with everything, in my opinion. Okay, I have went to the fashion blogs. I've been on Pinterest. I have looked at every single TikTok video with Hokas, and it's tricky because they're very like sporty athleisure like shoes, or shoes that like, nurses wear. And it's tricky because I have given this advice myself, and I've heard countless like fashion influencers and stylists give this advice of like, dress for what makes you feel good, and, dress for what makes you feel comfortable, and a way in which to like express who you are. And I've always thought that about fashion. I've always thought that how we dress is an expression of how we are and how we feel. And I kind of got to thinking about this last week. What if how you want to dress is not how you should dress? Do you know what I mean? If it was up to me, I would not own. I mean, probably I might own them because they're actually damn comfortable. Like, they're physically comfortable. But do they make me feel comfortable with myself? No, they don't. I actually can't think of a time this year, to be honest, where I've felt really good with myself while wearing these. And I've been wearing these a lot this year. This weird thing of like, wear what makes you feel comfortable, wear what you feel comfortable in. Like, yes, I feel physically comfortable in these, but do I feel comfortable from the sense of like, are they my style? I wouldn't necessarily say they're my style, no. Having to restructure your entire style and like what you would love to wear around your shoes is like a whole nother thing that I'm trying to navigate, because I can't be wearing the shoes that I used to wear all the time anymore. I have to, and I want to start prioritizing my feet, because the fact that I haven't been able to take my dog for a walk for like 2 weeks, and I haven't really been able to go out that much, and I'm like cancelling on friends because I don't want to walk too much. I'm not supposed to be walking too much. Kind of sucks. So like I have to prioritize this, and it's like this weird thing of I have to almost like change my style to suit my shoes, because like today, for instance, I'll show you what I'm wearing, but like this isn't what I would have picked out for myself. Nothing more I want than like supportive, good shoes that I can also feel pretty in. Trying to find shoes that are wide enough for me has been a challenge. Like before I went to Japan, I ordered like a bunch, and I've done this with a bunch of different brands. Kid you not, I should have filmed it, but I was too busy having a meltdown. I had like 12 pairs of shoes scattered across my closet, and I was laughing and crying at the same time, being like, do you call this wide? Like, is this what we're deeming to be wide? Like in a nutty friggin' hysterical state. Because my feet were still too big for these wide fitted shoes. There was a point where I was like, most of these big brands can afford wide footed shoes, but they just choose not to. And that kind of, I went through a period where I like kind of me off a little bit. But now I'm like, no, like I don't want or need really every brand to cater to wide-footed shoes, because then I feel like I wouldn't then feel like this connection to certain brands. Like what I'm trying to grapple with now is finding a way to feel good in my Hokas and like be able to style them. I don't know. I don't even know if it's either like I have to just learn to feel good with them on and focus on other parts of myself that I like, or I just have to kind of like change my style, which is, I don't know, I feel like I kind of have to do maybe a bit of both, to be honest. It's like I've never really been a sneakerhead, but I think even if I went out and asked sneakerheads, like I don't think that they'd be losing their minds, you know what I mean? Like over some Bondi Hokas. I just kind of wanted to talk to you about it because it's like one of those things. It's obviously not like the biggest deal, but it's just more background noise. You know, we all have background noise in our life. We all have things that we're kind of trying to work through. Obviously, some of them are a lot bigger than this. This is just one of those little things that I'm like, oh, it's like challenging my style and my identity, because I think how we choose to dress is such a big part of our identity. So I'm just trying to kind of come to terms with that and figure that out. I don't know if it's just going to become second nature, but trying to get in this habit of being like, right, so I have this event this night that I want to wear these pairs of shoes and this pretty dress. So what do I have to do in the weeks/month leading up to that to balance this whole thing? I've never thought of getting dressed this way. I've never seen it as like a balancing act of trying to take care of my feet. I also now have this fear that like if I run into you or if I meet you in my Hokas, you're going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe I used to like that girl's style, or I can't believe I used to listen to her, or like with like styling or fashion advice. It's just a funny little thing. What does one do when you dress how you want? Like this whole idea of like dress how you want. But what if like what you have to wear for your health and for your like the longevity of your feet isn't really your style? I don't know if this video is going to see the light of day. Let me know if you're like a wide-footed girly. I mean, I was going to say if you're a wide-footed man, let me know that too. I think if you're a wide-footed woman, I would like to know, because it's not obviously a traditional beauty standard. I think we're greatly under catered for, and I just feel like a lot of us are just kind of trying to stuff ourselves into these little shoes, and it makes me sad. So yeah, that's where I'm at with my shoes and my fashion. Thank you for listening. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.